Hola chicos! Today I'm going to review you the secret key to make your tango adornos gorgeously elegant and all the exercises to effortlessly apply this key in your dance. First of all, what is the secret key that makes your tango adornos truly gorgeous and elegant? Let's browse together through a set of adornos applicable to both leaders and followers and trying to identify what all of them have in common. Any ideas? Have you spotted it? The Adorno's secret key is the crossing of the legs. It might sound trivial, but it's definitely not, and actually is the keystone to pass from sloppy adornos to an elegantly embellished dance. Most of the tango dancers, when executing adornos, focus on crossing the feet, and the result is something like that. Instead of in the best way, the dancer focuses on bringing one knee behind the other, which leads already to a much better result. However, both the feet crossing and one knee behind the other are the mere effect of a much more fundamental root cause, which is the legs crossing. Then, let's exercise it. As usual, I'm going to show you the exercises first and then the correct technique to execute them. Remember, only by executing the exercises with the proper technique, you can enable a correct build-up of your muscle memory. For the first exercise, stand on one leg, project in front the free leg, cross the free leg over the standing leg, and collect. Project, uncross, collect to the back, project back, cross the free leg over the standing leg and collect. Project, uncross, collect. Repeat on the other side and as many times as you want. In the second exercise, you're going to train the backward legs crossing while pivoting. Thus, you're going to execute ocho forward and crossing the legs during the pivot. With this exercise, you are basically training the backward and roscas. Then, ocho forward with the right, pivot and cross the legs. Ocho forward with the left, pivot and cross the legs. Ocho forward, pivot, cross. Ocho forward, pivot, cross. In the third exercise, you are going to train the forward legs crossing while pivoting. Therefore, you're going to execute ocho backwards and crossing the legs during the pivot. With this exercise, you are basically training forward the roscas. Then, ocho backward with the right, pivot and cross legs forward. Uncross. Ocho backward, pivot, cross legs, uncross. Ocho backward, pivot, cross, uncross. Ocho backward, pivot, cross. Before talking in depth about the technique, I would like you to feel the correct sensation of the legs crossing. Take off your shoes, take a chair and sit on it. Now, cross your legs and notice that your legs are crossed from the groin till the knees. Take a moment to experience this sensation because this is what you want to reproduce whilst executing the exercises and the adornos. However, in this latter case, you don't sit but stand. Therefore, whilst keeping the legs crossed and without moving the position of the thighs, stand. From here, stretch the front leg, always without moving the position of the thighs, until the foot reaches ground in a comfortable position and with the whole sole on the floor. Pay attention to the errors. Don't change the position of the front knee. And make sure that the metatarsal of the big toe is on the floor. This is the sensation you want to feel when crossing the legs forward. Now, move your weight to the front leg until the back leg has no weight anymore, and make sure that the metatarsal of the big toe of the back foot is still on the floor. This is the sensation you want to feel when crossing the legs backwards. Regarding the technique of the first exercise, project the free leg forward, cross your legs from the groin and then collect. When collecting, the knee of the standing leg remains stretched, whilst the knee of the free leg bends slightly. This allows the free foot to be aligned to the standing foot. When executing the movement, keep the heel of the free leg on the floor all the time. In the same way, keep the metatarsal of all the toes, especially the big toe, on the floor all the time. This will allow you to avoid the banana foot. Later on, when the correct movement is in your muscle memory, then you can play by lifting the heel, the metatarsal of all the toes, or just the metatarsal of the last two toes. If you lift the heel, especially if you are wearing high heels, be careful not to scratch the top of the standing foot. I can tell you by personal experience. For the backward crossing, project the free leg on the back, making sure to lengthen the hip joint of the free leg first. You can check my previous video on projection collection to understand what I'm talking about and to learn how to do it. I'm going to leave you the link in the description here below. Then, cross the legs starting from the groin and collect. This time is going to be the knee of the free leg to remain stretched, whilst the knee of the standing leg can bend slightly. This, once again, allows the free foot to be more aligned to the standing foot. Once again, when executing the movement, keep the heel of the free leg on the floor all the time. Also here, keep the metatarsal of all the toes, especially the big toe, on the floor all the time. Avoid the banana foot. Remember, only when the correct movement is in your muscle memory, then you can play with it. For the second and the third exercise, you need the technique of the walking and pivots, which you can consult in my previous videos. As usual, I'm going to leave you the links in the description here below. And now, the good news. Whereas before you had to actively cross your legs, now the pivot of the standing leg makes you cross the legs for free, though you still have to control the movement. For the ultras forward, take the step and whilst arriving on your axis, start dissociating the upper body. But keep the free leg projected backward and fully stretched. Once you are on your axis, you can start pivoting the hip, the knee and the foot of the standing leg, but keep the back foot where it is, like if it was anchored on the floor. After a few degrees of pivot, you will notice that your thighs are crossed from the groin. This is the point where you can let the ankle go, collect and finish the pivot. Here the secret is to release the back foot at the right time. Indeed, if you release it too early, your legs are not crossed yet and you will end up with a banana foot. If you release it too late, it will be impossible to keep your back ankle straight and you will end up again with a banana foot. Therefore, train yourself to feel which is the exact release point of your own body that allows you to make a correct and elegant movement. On the arches backward, the concept is exactly the same. This time, though, is the front foot to be anchored on the floor while the standing leg pivots. Once the legs are fully crossed from the thighs and before disrupting the alignment of the front ankle, release the ankle point, collect and finish the pivot. One last point of attention. When executing all these exercises, always keep an eye on your posture. Don't move your hips forward and backwards, don't bend the upper body, everything remains straight.